The man charged with slashing the Springfield mayor's car tires last week was supposed to appear in court today, but his arraignment had to be postponed.
Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lokri joins us live in studio after getting answers as to why it was postponed. Reagan?
Chris and Abby, our Western Mass News crew was in court this morning for the planned arraignment of Stephen Costarizos. However, we were told the suspect was in the hospital and unable to appear before a judge. I reached out to the Hampden County Sheriff's Department, and they tell me Costarizos reported an incident that happened in the community prior to his arrest that required him to be brought to the hospital. He remained there as of late this morning, postponing his arraignment. I also spoke to the spokesperson for the Springfield Police Department about Friday's arrest. Around 4 p.m. Friday, January 19th, Springfield police officers arrested 55-year-old Stephen Costarizos in connection with 3 separate incidents. The arrest comes 2 days after Costarizos was alleged to have slashed all 4 tires of Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno's car, parked in the City Hall parking lot Wednesday afternoon. Western Mass News obtained this surveillance of the incident and photos showing Costarizos holding what appears to be a knife.
He was located at his apartment through some tips, and then when officers were there, he had fled over to the State Street area where one of our firearms investigations unit detectives saw him at State and St. James. He was able to keep an eye on him and call assisting officers, where they located him inside CVS.
Ryan Walsh, public information officer for the Springfield Police Department, tells Western Mass News, thanks to tips from the community and the keen eye of their officers, they were able to get Costarizos off the streets pretty quickly. And Walsh adds the arrest came just in time.
We had a nice big event at MGM Springfield this weekend that was a huge success with the Red Sox winter weekend, and we wanted to make sure this dangerous, violent individual who frequented the downtown area was taken off the streets, and before that really got started this weekend.
Walsh tells us following this arrest, they felt comfortable reducing the stepped-up police presence for the mayor and the community. Now the Hampden County Sheriff's Department tells me Costarizos is expected to be arraigned tomorrow, as long as he's been released from the hospital. We will continue to bring you updates on this case as we receive them. Reporting live in studio, Reagan Lokri for Western Mass News.